You wake up this morning feeling strange. Something's different. You look at yourself in the mirror and everything seems normal. Then you walk into the kitchen where your family is having breakfast. You freeze. Above your mother's head, you see 3 glowing red lines. Above your father's head, 8 lines. Your little sister, none. You blink, rub your eyes, but the lines don't disappear. Then it hits you like a freight train. Each line represents a life they've taken. You just gain the most terrifying superpower imaginable, and you can never turn it off. Imagine having a power that nobody else has. A power that shows you the darkest secret of every single person you meet. Not their thoughts, not their feelings, their body count. The number of people whose lives ended because of them. Displayed as glowing lines above their head that only you can see. This isn't about judgment from society. This is about you, alone, carrying the weight of everyone's hidden sins. Today we're diving into what would really happen if you suddenly gained this horrifying ability. Because when you're the only one who can see the truth, the burden doesn't make you powerful, it makes you cursed. And before we dive deeper into this nightmare, hit that subscribe button. We're exploring the darkest superpowers and twisted scenarios that'll haunt your dreams. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Let's start with the immediate aftermath of gaining this power. You're panicking. Those lines above your parents' heads won't go away. You try to act normal during breakfast, but your mind is racing. Dad has 8 lines. 8. Who did he kill? When? Why? Is he a serial killer living a double life? Was it war? Self-defense? Accidents? You can't ask. Because if you ask, you have to explain how you know. And how do you suddenly have supernatural vision that reveals everyone's kill count? They'll think you're insane. They'll lock you up. They'll never believe you. So you stay silent. And the silence is torture. You go outside trying to clear your head. Every person you pass on the street has lines above them. The mailman, 2 lines. Your neighbor who brings cookies every Christmas, 5 lines. The teenager delivering newspapers, none. The friendly cop directing traffic, 12 lines. Within an hour, your entire understanding of reality crumbles. Everyone is either a killer or surrounded by killers, and you're the only one who knows. You can't help yourself. You need to understand what you're seeing. You start researching your father's past, military records. You discover he served 2 tours in Afghanistan, combat infantry. The 8 lines suddenly make sense. He never talked about the war. Now you know why. He's carried those deaths silently for decades, and you just ripped open his buried trauma without him even knowing. Your mother's 3 lines are harder to explain. She was never in the military, never worked in law enforcement. You dig deeper, searching old news articles, asking relatives careful questions. Finally, you discover the truth. A car accident when she was 19. She ran a red light. 3 people in the other vehicle died. She was never charged. It was ruled an accident. But the lines don't care about legal definitions. Death is death. This is when the real horror sets in. You can see who died, but you don't know why. Context is invisible. Intention is invisible. All you see is the final score. Dating becomes your personal nightmare. You meet someone amazing, funny, kind, intelligent, everything you've ever wanted. Then you see it. 1 line above their head. Just 1. Your heart sinks. Do you ask? Do you ignore it? Do you walk away from potential happiness because of something they might have done years ago? You take a chance. You get closer. Eventually, they trust you enough to tell you their story. Self-defense. An abusive ex-partner who tried to kill them. They fought back. It was them or their attacker. The court ruled it justified, but they live with the guilt every single day. You understand. You forgive, but you can never forget. Every time you look at them, you see that line. A constant reminder that the person you love took a life, regardless of the reason. Now imagine meeting someone with 20 lines, 30, 50. Do they get a chance to explain? Or do you run before you even learn their name? Here's where your power becomes a curse that destroys you from the inside. You see a man with 47 lines. Your instinct screams serial killer, but you follow him and he visits a VA hospital. He's a veteran suffering from PTSD. Those 47 lives haunt him every night. He's a broken man trying to survive the memories of a war he didn't start. You see a woman with 19 lines. She works at a hospital. You realize she's an emergency room doctor who's worked there for 30 years. Those lines represent impossible choices, patients she couldn't save, decisions made in seconds that determined who lived and who died. You see a teenager with 1 line. You investigate and discover they were the driver in a drunk driving accident last year. Their best friend died. The line represents their biggest mistake, their deepest regret, the moment that destroyed their entire life. The power doesn't make you a hero, it makes you a witness to human tragedy. Every line tells a story of pain, regret, survival, or evil. And you can't tell which is which just by looking. Months pass. The power is destroying your mental health. You can't watch the news without seeing lines above every politician, every military leader, every law enforcement official. You can't go to the grocery store without counting lines. You can't have a normal conversation without being distracted by the glowing marks of death hovering above people's heads. You start avoiding crowds. Too many lines, too much death, too much guilt that isn't even yours to carry. You become isolated, paranoid, depressed. Because once you know everyone's darkest secret, you can't connect with anyone authentically anymore. Your friends notice you've changed. They ask what's wrong. You can't tell them. You can't explain that you see their kill counts, that you know things about them they've never shared, that you're drowning in the weight of knowledge you never asked for. You consider suicide, just to make it stop, just to escape the constant visual reminder that death is everywhere, that everyone is touched by killing, that humanity is far more violent than anyone wants to admit. Eventually, you're forced to make a decision. You witness a crime, a murder in progress. The killer has 32 lines already. The victim has none. You could save them. You could call the police. You could intervene. But if you stop the killer, everyone will ask how you knew, how you found them, how you identified them. Using your power means exposing your power, and exposing your power means losing everything. Your privacy, your freedom, your sanity. The government would capture you, study you, weaponize you. They'd force you to identify killers, to testify in court, to violate everyone's privacy until you break. So what do? Save one life and sacrifice yourself? Or stay silent and live with the guilt of letting someone die when you could have prevented it? So what if you got the power to see everyone's body count? You'd gain the ability to see truth, but you'd lose the ability to live with it. You'd become the keeper of secrets nobody wants revealed, the witness to sins nobody wants remembered, the judge who never wanted the job. This power wouldn't make you a superhero. It would make you the loneliest, most burdened person alive. Because some knowledge isn't power, some knowledge is a curse. And the worst part? You'd realize that maybe ignorance really is bliss. That maybe we're not meant to know everything about everyone. That maybe the lines we can't see are what allow us to love, trust, and connect with each other. Would you want this power? Could you handle seeing the truth about everyone you love? Drop your honest answer in the comments below. If this scenario sent chills down your spine, you need to subscribe right now. We're bringing you the most twisted, thought-provoking what-if powers and scenarios every single week. Smash that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Until next time, stay curious, stay grateful you don't have this power, and maybe hug your loved ones a little tighter, because you don't know what lines they're hiding.